Waking up fresh, that's Kodak. Killing these niggas, you know that. Real street nigga, you know that.
To embrace our history, to learn of our past, and to be able to move forward in unity. To embrace our history, to learn of our past, and to be able to move forward in unity.
It's one way too real. Dick O'Neal coming to you live from the headquarters today, and I just came across this story that came on the news today, and it was about Miss Saddie Roberts Joseph. Excuse me, man. Praise the Most High. We thank Him for another day above ground, and I just wanted to share this short video with you, man, so we can recognize this great child of God and realize the importance of our history. You know, as so-called black people, Hebrew people like myself, people that look like me. In order for us to be more productive and have more balance and more justice, is to get it from within ourselves. And to do that, we got to really know ourselves. So, it's important that we share our history with our kids, and unless we want to go back to slavery, unless you want to go back to lynchings, unless you want to go back to Jim Crow laws and segregation or whatnot, it's important that we keep our own history in the foreground. You think of the Jewish people from Europe, that the whole world know what they went through. It's never again. It's never again. But we have to constantly educate our own children, our own people, about what's really going on with black people, because we are under attack. This woman was 75 years old, same age as my own mother. And it just tore me apart when I seen this story today. And my heart goes out to her family and all those that she affected in her lifetime, which would be a considerable amount. I never actually had the honor of to meet her or actually even know about her work, but I have heard about the great work that she had did. And I challenge any young person in Baton Rouge, whether it be one of her family members, or to make sure that museum go on and that it goes on strong. Not only stronger, but even better than before. Make it in her name, so for her own story could be considered as part of this American history. Here it is, July 16, 2019, where a 75-year-old black woman goes to take some cornbread to a friend's house because her oven is broke down. Her oven is broke down. How petty is that? Can somebody please help an old person get an oven at work so they don't have to be trying to go out and drive to go somewhere just to cook some cornbread, and she never came back to pick it up? And you mean to tell me they found her in a trunk of her own car? And you mean to tell me they're not calling it a murder? That's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. Shame on the Baton Rouge Police Department, the Louisiana State Police, and the FBI, the Homeland Security, and all law enforcement that would not call this woman's murder exactly that, a homicide. I am
Louisiana police are investigating the mysterious death of a beloved civil rights activist in Baton Rouge's black community. The body of 75-year-old Saddie Roberts Joseph was found in the trunk of a car on Friday, not far from the History Museum that she founded almost 2 decades ago. CTM national correspondent Jerika Duncan is outside the museum in Baton Rouge with more on this story. Jerika, this is so shocking. She's 75 in the trunk of a car. This does not sound random at all. How is the community reacting?
The community is heartbroken, and as you mentioned, just how she was found is what makes it even more eerie. But this museum was her pride and joy. It's small, it's colorful, it's currently boarded up, but it played a major role in this community. A lot of people have stories about Miss Roberts, Saddie Roberts, and she said things like, education is important, a Nelson Mandela quote behind us. She also talked about the importance of education. Right now, police say they are not calling this a murder, but they're asking for anyone with information to help them.
Saddie Roberts Joseph was a tireless advocate for peace in her Baton Rouge community. City leaders say the museum she founded was designed to bring the past to life.
To embrace our history, to learn of our past, and to be able to move forward in unity.
On Friday, police say Roberts Joseph's body was found in the trunk of a car located on a residential street about 3 miles from her home and some 2 miles from her museum. Authorities have not said how she died or who owns the car. In an online post, the Baton Rouge Police Department paid tribute to Roberts Joseph, calling her a treasure to our community and adding detectives are working diligently to bring the person or persons responsible for this heinous act to justice.
This particular crime on this particular individual left me empty.
State Representative C. Denise Marcel posted a remembrance on Facebook, calling Roberts Joseph an amazing woman who loved her history.
She wanted to show you your history. She wanted you to touch your history. She wanted you to feel your history.
Roberts Joseph recently hosted the city's annual Juneteenth celebration, commemorating the emancipation of slaves in the South. She also founded a local organization aimed at combating drugs and violence. Baton Rouge Mayor-President Sharon Weston Broome says her commitment to the cultural and educational fabric of our community is beyond description. Those who loved her hope her legacy will live on.
Embrace diversity, learn of our history, and that's the only way we're going to be able to heal.
Roberts Joseph was known and quoted for saying things like, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. The mayor has offered a $5,000 cash reward for any information leading to an arrest and indictment. Anthony?
You know, she's clearly left a strong legacy, but that is a big mystery there, Jerika. Thank you.
Anthony, I don't know how a body found in a car is not called a murder.
To embrace our history, to learn of our past, and to be able to move forward in unity. To embrace our history, to learn of our past, and to be able to move forward in unity.
Yeah, I just wanted to add in conclusion to, Miss Roberts' video telling of her demise that you see how she celebrated June 19th this year, 1865, June 19th, is when actual slaves that were still in captivity actually found out that they was free. And I see all these so-called people of color, so-called black people on the 4th of July just popping all this money worth for fireworks, just trying to outdo their neighbor, and all these, gatherings and whatnot for a white folks celebration. Because in 1776, if you look like me, you was not even considered a human, much less an American. But on June 19th, 2019, this very year, I noticed nobody hardly even acknowledging when you became so-called free. Because you know why you didn't acknowledge it? Because you're not free. Because you're still a mental slave. This woman was trying to free your mind. She had a celebration on June 19th commemorating the freedom of people that look like me and you. God bless you today. Take a little time with this video, man. Watch it again. You know what I mean? And share it with your friends. Tell the world what a great woman this was and how tragic her death was and how tragic it is for the police not to even call it a homicide. 3 miles from her own home. 2 miles from for the museum that she founded. Black people, so-called people of color, Hebrew people, Israelites, what you choose to identify yourself if you look like me. It's time to get it together. It's time to really wake up. If you out here hurting somebody that look like me, and you look like me, man, they got us, y'all. We got to stop this right here. We got to come together. I don't know who killed this woman, but I'm gonna get pretty much in my heart. My heart tell me, I trust my heart, my intuition. I know this was some white supremacists, somebody who had been following this woman, who had read about this woman, who stalked this woman, and who took the opportunity to end her life. I believe that. Now, I pray to God that there's nobody that look like me that did it, because that's almost just as tragic. It's as tragic any way you want to look at it, but I just feel this in my heart. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, Lord knows I spoke what was in my heart. My truth might not be your truth, but we still need to make sure that we are educated on our own history. And we need to make sure that our next generation, our children and our grandchildren, are educated on American history concerning people of color, and even back farther than that, our African heritage history, as far as we can trace it. As much knowledge as we could get, we need to get that. I'm 52 years old, and I try to learn something new every day, man. God bless your heart, man. It's your boy, Way Too Real, Dick O'Neal, man. God bless Miss Sally, Miss Saddie Roberts. Wow, what a great woman, an inspiration. You inspired me to make this video, and I pray that somebody in your family and your community will see something like justice. And I hope those detectives working on the case, I wish them success. But it's a murder.
Waking up fresh, that's Kodak. Killing these niggas, you know that. Real street nigga, you know that.